Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 Cockpit Real Racing. We're here live for round 11 at the Austrian Grand Prix. After wait a couple of minutes, we're finally ready and ready to go racing. My name is Abe and I'll be taking you all through for this one once more. I was here at the previous round of the Canadian Grand Prix and tonight we'll be taking it all through for one more time. And my name is Abe, and I'll be on the commentary mic to take you all through for this fantastic experience. So last time out, it was 100% race. It was a short qualifying session, and then 100% was a race. And then, now, it is tonight. It's a different format, 50% race, which will be 36 laps of racing here around Austria. And it is raining in qualifying. And before we begin, for that 36 lap of racing, it'll be 18 minutes of qualifying. And by the looks of it, it's going to be all soaked in rain. And it is not any ordinary rain, but this is really heavy, and it looks like, by the looks of it, the drivers would have to use the set of tires. Oh, somebody has already retired. I'm not sure why it is that, but 18 minutes of qualifying, and it's going to be all wet by the looks of it. We only wait for a time and hoping the drivers will be out on track soon, and by the time they're out, we'll be really all for it. Let me just fix this a little bit, and by the time we're ready to go, and we already have somebody out on track by the looks of it, and indeed it is not one but two drivers already looking out to get in, and we have 20 drivers tonight, all 20 completed, and I'm hoping there is no AI in between, which eventually was at the previous rounds. The two drivers that are now currently out on track is going to be Zeno in the Ferrari, and it is Chris in the McLaren, who was in the top through the previous Canadian Grand Prix. PFM, who his teammate collided right into Mr. Creco, who I believe should be ahead of him on track as well, and he indeed is ahead of him on track. They collided in this race, and especially previous race, there was a lot of incidents, considering it was a 100% race. Drivers still looked impatient. Drivers looked pretty, ready to go. And oh, PFM's got a penalty. He's got a 5-place grid penalty, which is interesting to see this early on in this race. Not quite sure. We might need to restart the lobby, because I'm not sure what exactly are the rulings around here, but if that happens, we do get lobby restarts. Meanwhile, Chris is going to be our first drive. Oh, nearly start. He's out on a set of intermediate compound tires versus, in fact, everybody is indeed out on a set of inters out here, as we have Chris up at the end of that first sector, 17.660. It's a very competitive time, especially in these rainy conditions. Nearly on the exit, loses it there. Third, fourth, and fifth gear. He's just trying to keep it there. He's just trying to keep it up. And for how long he can keep it straight on the track. Ooh, that's going to be pretty tricky once more. And definitely by the looks of it, cars are all the way sliding around. Another slide to the rear end. And by the looks of it, forget about qualifying. If this happens in the race, it's going to be extremely difficult for the drivers to keep it on track. Meanwhile, Chris is already struggling quite hard. 51.6 in the end of this middle sector. How good will this be at the end of this first sector? We have Zeno right behind at the Ferrari as well. We switch up to him as soon as we have Chris over the line and put up a lap time on board. He nearly invalidates it, but just about keeps all four wheels within the track, and he can't do it this time. He did it on the previous corner, but couldn't do it on the exit of the final corner. Meanwhile, Zeno in that Ferrari, by the looks of it, he's going to come into the pits as well. No, he will not come in. Oh, yes, indeed. He will come into the pits. He makes his way on the in, then goes out, then comes in once more. Meanwhile, Diego, by the looks of it, will be starting their flying lap. And I love this format in terms of, 18 minutes of qualifying, and then we'll move on to 50% race, 36 laps, which could are pretty interesting, as drivers are now going to be putting up laps, and first one will be PFM 116.491, but Galosio will go even faster as he's going to go up to the 115s. 115.863. We just say that as Forest Jump is going to go up into the 114s. So definitely the later you do the lap, the better you're going to be by the looks of it, at least so far. For how long that's going to be the case, only time will tell, but we should have, as Chris on the previous lap, invalidated, and I believe he's going to... Oh, he's invalidated again, another invalidation, and definitely that indicates... Or even normally that should have been good enough. 114.2 should have been good enough for pole position, but I'm sure all of you watching should know that Austria is a home of penalties, really. Any other track doesn't really come close to Austria in terms of the amount of penalties the drivers get, the amount of penalties people get in the races. So at least out of these 20, at least 9 to 10 drivers would be getting those track limit penalties, track limits, which which do get, you know, I won't say abused, but obviously, you know, the drivers simply trying to go faster. They're simply trying to go as quick as they can using all the track, but by the nature of the track, it just doesn't allow you. If you have to be very fast, and you have to really, you know, try and use all the track. But then if you can't do it, you'd be invalidating the lap, and that's going to be really ruining your condition. And now we're looking for anybody, or in fact that's a McLaren, and it indeed is of Chris, but by the looks of it, it's going pretty slow, and that would eventually mean that he's going to come into the pits, or will he continue? Because by the looks of it, he's not really driving that fast. So he's going to be coming into the pits then. 2 invalidations. Meanwhile, driver right behind to the back. It's going to be no assist, or no, in fact, it's not going to be him. It's going to be his teammate Patricam, who is the slowest time so far in the session. Can he improve over the line? Yes, he can. 3.110s, but that's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Goloso is not on a valid lap. Also not on a fast lap. Meanwhile, drivers behind will complete laps, and that's going to be no Sebo. Nice to see this man here. So no Sebo. 116.957 P5 at the moment. Just ahead of Petrocam, and only 6 drivers have got a time on board. 1 Red Bull at the front, the other at the back without a time on board. Rather, I would have thought it was going to be running. It's going to go over the line, but no, it was his teammate. And now the Ferrari of Zeno is going to be starting their flying lap. Haas of no assist, 121.0, so that's not going to be good enough as well. What about Gerardo? It's going to go up to P7 and P8 as Wellward in that Mercedes goes up to P4 and gets a brilliant lap time as he's going to get it done. 116.513. Still only 9 drivers have got a time on board. We're only 8 minutes in this session as everybody around is trying to improve, is trying to get better. Meanwhile, Petrocam is still out on track for a couple of laps now, but he's going at it all. He's still trying all he can. And really doing all he can, and at the moment nobody has managed to beat the time of Jump Forest, who's got up to pole position, obviously 114.789 at the moment, so nearly 1 whole second better than Galosio, but he might be able to get faster, and he will be able to get faster as he puts a lap in the second runs on these intermediate compound tires. Let's just have a look on how many laps they've done on them. In fact, these tires are not new, so definitely that means the more laps on you do on these tires, the more comfortable you get out on track. And by the looks of it, he has taken pole position. 114.381 now. Can Forrest get better? He's just on an out lap and will be starting his flying lap very soon, and by the looks of it, he'll be looking to get better. Meanwhile, Petrocam out on track on brand new tires now. He's got no battery, so interesting to see, but he might be looking for a better improvement, and he indeed has found an absolute good improvement. 116.3. Can he get any better than that? Yes, he can. Even 6 more 10s he improves by. He stays P3, but that is a very competitive time as compared to his previous ones, and that will not only have him improve and stay in P3, but that will extend his chances. That will extend his chances of still staying in that P3 position, as No Sebo right behind goes up to P4, 115.899. About a tenth and a half slower than Petrocam, but Petrocam in the end, brilliant lap time from him. At the start he was in the 116s, and in the end brilliant lap time, and he got the job done. What about no assist? His teammate over the line does improve by over 3 seconds, stays at where he is, P9, and just a bit better than Gerardo at the moment, still 7 tenths down on the next car. Ronin, meanwhile, Forrest is going to go up the line and beat that time by Colosio even once more, as he's going to go up to pole position and take it one more time. It could be Chris. Chris could be up on the mark. He's currently in P15, obviously without a time on board, so he's got no position to fight at all to set up a time, and he is going to set up a time good enough for not only pole position, but nearly better by over 6 tenths. Over 6 tenths. Chris is going to take pole position by Forrest in P2 and Colosio in P3 at the moment. Petrocam in P4. Valverde in P5, followed by No Sebo running. PF, Diego, and no assist, completing out the top 10. So the later you get a time on board, the better it is getting, and definitely by the looks of it, you know, a dry line, it's not going to be like the dry line's going to be formatting us, or the track's going to be getting, you know, drier. But even if it keeps raining, with the cars running on track, with the drivers, you know, doing many laps, that forms a line, that forms a racing line, which at least is better than how it would have been at the start of the session. And definitely by the looks of it, you could already see, you know, Chris first, who was the first driver? I believe it was Forrest Jump. At the start, it was him. Then Colosio came and improved, and then Forrest came in once more to improve. But then again, it was Chris who at the end has got pole position so far. So 6.5 minutes remaining. Could be anybody's game. Could be anyone that's going to be taking it. But we'll have to look at the moment. Ronin is going to be looking up to improve on a bit of time of his, and he does improve to go up to P7 and jumps up 1 position so far. And I believe there should be a Williams driver who's going to be out on an outlap, and indeed it is Juper who's currently on an outlap. Interesting dance. Has got a full wet tire on, but obviously these guys haven't got a time on board. Only from P1 to P11 all these drivers have got a time on board. Otherwise everybody else has not got a time on board. Very wide goes Diego there, and that definitely will compromise his exit, and that might just compromise his whole lap. Meanwhile, Jalman and Frankie are out of the session, which you might have not realized, but they are indeed out of the session, as Forrest will be looking up for a chance to get better. Can he? Yes, he can! Goes up to pole, back up to pole position, goes fastest in the session so far. Puts it 250, 113.250, and definitely we are in for a fight out here. It was all these drivers, could be Colosio, Chris, or Forrest, jump out at all. He takes pole, he gets snatched from it, he takes it again, Chris puts a lap in, and then Jump does it once again. Now we only got 5 minutes remaining in the session, as Ronin has put a good time enough for P4, so Red Bull 3-4 could be in for a nice one here, as PF would be looking for a good time at the back as well. He's currently in P6, not a bad position to be in, but still he'll be looking up for better times on board. Meanwhile, Diego is his teammate. Or no, in fact, it was Juper. Yep, it was Juper who goes up to P5 as well, pushes Valverde and PF down at the moment. What about Diego over the finish line? His start of his lap on the previous one was compromised, and by the looks of it, we can see he only goes up to P10 and 4th slowest time overall. No assist is improving, slow and steady, and it is going to be Certain Penna, who's currently in P9 and needs a minimum of 310s and does get those 310s. Over 6 tenths he improves by and goes up to P8. One position he jumps by, and that will get the job done for him. Is it going to be PF enough? Yes, it will be. At least enough for him to go up to that second row and form up a McLaren 2-3. It could well be pretty solid result, even if they end up being there. But I think the ending moments, the final couple of minutes will be very crucial. They'll be very important for us to look at, and the drivers to really not ruin their chances as well. You know, for let's say Chris and Jump, it's nearly a 10th, but still, by the looks of it, by improving conditions, even if they're not getting better, as I said, the more cars run on track, the better grip will be out there. And you know, even forget that, just the more confidence these drivers are going to build lap by lap, they're going to feel better every lap more than the previous one. That will only help them get better on their times. And by the looks of it, PF will not be obviously improving on this one. 4 seconds down. By the looks of it, he's simply going to be getting up a lap in. What about the Ferrari of Sertan Penna? He's going to improve even further, so definitely times are going to be getting better, and the track conditions, by the looks of it, are improving. Despite it's still raining, it keeps raining, but the more cars have run out on track, the times have gotten better, and they're only getting better out here as Galosio now goes up back to pole position. 1:13.051. We might be in soon to see a driver go into those 1:12s, which might be our case. Will we see it now? We might be about to see it now, and we will see it now. Forget the 1:12s. We'll go into the 1:11s out here as Chris goes up to pole position and puts a time of 1:11.720. Anybody behind can do the job, can they? Yes, they can. Jupiter P3, he improves massively as well. Might not be taking pole position, but at least gets near it, and a brilliant time from him as well. And Diego goes up to P7 as well. He's improving nice and easy, slowly as well, as no assist right back in P13. Will be looking to improve. Yes, does find an improvement, but can't improve by position. Meanwhile, Mercedes of Welbert will be starting the flying lap. What about Hernanos in that Sauber? Does find about those 5/10s and goes up to P4. Forrest Jump's time that came in, which was looking later, but not enough, and definitely by the looks of it, it could be still be anybody's game, and we will not know who's taking pole position and who will be the best driver of them all going into the race here in this qualifying session until the last moment, until the very last lap. Every one of them does, and definitely those who do a lap at the very ending moment of the qualifying, or you know, in those ending moments, everybody will be looking to find a time at the very end of it. So if you manage to do a lap at the very end of the session, or at the very end in terms of, you know, at the very end in terms of, what I'm trying to basically say is, you want to do a lap later than everybody else. You want to start your lap very late, so you want to be the final driver to really end your lap. But with that with reward comes risk, and that the risk is of not being able to find a time. You know, by the looks of it, the final three, or having got a time on board, or even those in the 1:14s will need to improve, and if they can't really improve, that will be qualifying over for them. So anything they would have been looking to take, they won't be able to take. Meanwhile, Galosio, by the looks of it, does find improvement, but would have been an invalidated lap, and that means that won't be enough. And Chris's qualifying will be over as well, as he has invalidated. So that means any lap he could have done now, he won't be able to do now, as Petrocam over the line will be qualifying. No, in fact, no. They will be starting his flying lap now, so time is still remaining. Sorry, I can't see that because of those yellow flags. But it's going to be all interesting here as checkered flag has fallen. Jupiter is improving. He needs at least 2/10s to go up onto the front row. Can he find those 2/10s? Yes, he can. And goes up to that front row into P2. Is it going to be Chris? Yes, it will be. And by the looks of it, he's going to head straight in towards the pit lanes. It's going to be Forrest Jump, but before him, it's going to be Diego. He's going to head into the pits as well. Forrest needs a lot of time to find. Can he find those few tenths nearly into the edge, on the edge of the final corner. He had a huge slide, but will that be enough to stop him from pole position? Yes, but not enough from first front row on the grid. He goes up onto the front row, and by the looks of it, Sniper might just be safe in here, as Hernanos will not be able to improve as well. Many drivers coming into the pit lane, and definitely by the looks of it, they are not gonna be improving at all. Not many that are remaining haven't taken the checkered flag. And Chris Sniper in the end looks very secured, and he will be secured indeed, as every single driver is now coming towards the pit lane, and Petrocam has slowed down. So in this rain-filled qualifying here at Spielberg, Austria, it is going to be Chris, your reigning world champion. I believe he has number 1, so I'm going to definitely assuming he will be the champion, as Chris now has taken pole position, and he's got the job done by a mile. An absolute epic pole position by nearly 7 tenths. He takes it by. The competition in the back was pretty cool, was pretty close though. 12.420 from Forrest, 7.86 from Jupiter, and then 13.051 from Glosio, with Hernanos 2.28. Followed by PF's 13.787, 790 from Ronin. So all these things and these drivers have been, did try to improve. All of them did all they could, with Frankie and Gelman already not being able to get a chance to set up a lap time. Let's not forget Dance, Rexito, and Zeno having got a time on board as well. Only the top 16 have got a time on board. Oh no, it shouldn't be the top 16, it would be the top 15 who's got the time on board. So by the looks of it then, Chris on pole with jump in P2, followed by Jupiter in P3, then comes Colosio in P4, Hernanos in P5, PFM in P6, Ronin, Petrocam, Diego, Nosebo completing out the top 10 for Visa Cash App RB. Then Velward, Sertambana, no assist, Gerardo completing up the top 14. Mr. Creco, by the looks of it, has got a time on board as well, but that's a very slow time. So top 14 really at a competitive time on board, with Creco, Dance, Rexito, Zeno can get a time on board. Frankie and Gelman were not participating in the qualifying session at all. So that's going to be the end, ladies and gentlemen, of this qualifying session here at Austria. I hope you all watching really are enjoying the action here at this one so far. So we are very, very soon. We'll be going up to the race very soon. Qualifying is over, and now main game begins. And now all where the points are awarded, all where the drivers are gonna be happy. The drivers, I mean, they might not be happy, but they definitely will be looking up for action here. The teams will get their drivers ready as soon as they can. The drivers themselves would be looking up to pick up their setups and get it done. So by the looks of it, as soon as we're back, as soon as we're ready to go out, we'll be back as soon as I say that. The formation lap is on, and now this is going to be brilliant. Chris on pole, Forrest in P2, with Jupiter in P3, followed by Galosio in P4, and Hernanos completing out the top 5. And look at that, 36 laps. It's going to be a possible 2-stop, but somebody can do a 1-stop either. But if the standard from the previous races to follow, we might have a couple of safety cars, but we hope not. And hopefully we see a lot more racing laps about right here. So it's a mix-up of drivers with a hard and medium compound tyre. In the top 5, only two drivers are starting in the on the hard compound tyre. In the top 6, 2 are in the hard. I mean, Ronin has been disqualified, so we'll let the drivers get it, and definitely that is by a 2-stop medium hard, or hard medium could be the case, or even hard medium could be the case as well. So going to be on PFM with that 5th-place grid penalty. Is going to start down in P11. That helped. And now also running Petrocam, Diego, and No Sebo move up a position. So we'll just move up for a second, and as soon as the grid is formed up, the drivers are all ready to go racing. We will jump it back again. Then obviously after a rain-soaked qualifying here at Spielberg, it is going to be a nice, dry and a sunny race here at Austria. It's going to be 36 laps of racing. It's not reversed. I was about to say it's reversed, but it is not. Obviously, we've had, I've had a couple of races reverse Austria as well. So it's going to be now ready as we just have the final car approaching the grid. And final car has now approached the grid as we are ready to go racing here at the Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the track is hot and green flags. We go racing here in Austria. It's going to be a good start for grid. It's going to be a good start for Jump as well. It's going to be a nice start for Jupiter as well in the back. Hernanos has jumped up as well. He's going to be staying in P4. Can Jupiter get a jump on him? Yes, Jupiter can get a jump out there as they're going to be side by side heading towards turn 3. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Is it going to be Jump? Is it going to be for a Jupiter? It is going to be nearly Jupiter Jump as both of them tried all they could, but there might have been losers. Hernano still stays in P4, followed by Petrogam in P5, and what a start there from PFM. He's jumped up a couple of positions with No Sebo in P7. He's gained a few positions as well. Right at the back, running. He's going to get ahead of Diego as well, as Diego's going to lose a bit of positions. And now, while we're in P11 in that Mercedes with Grico in P12, at the he's gained up many places as Grico there with Zeno in P13. Galosio's dropped down massively, I believe. Let's have a look at this then, at these positions. Yes, he has 10 positions down, Galosio, with Gerardo only 1 position down on the inside line. There'll be moves being made. Jellman has gained up a position. Sertan Penna has lost out position as well, as he might have made a contact. 6 positions down. He's going to head into the pits, and a lot of drivers are now going to be heading into the pits, which is interesting. I'm interested to see. I mean, more than that, they simply needed to pit, and that's the reason they will be pitting up out here, as Rixito will be getting past with Gelman here. Or will he get past, though? He might be able to get past Gerardo out here on that Alpine. Goes on the inside line. They're going to be still wheel to wheel. Pushes him absolutely wide, and that's going to allow Gelman to get past him, and Gelman will get past the Alpine as well. I wonder if there's going to be an opportunity for him to attack back, but not at the moment, and that's what I'm saying, the beauty of a 50% race. These drivers, I mean, start might have been similar at Canada as well, but simply walls were closer, so crashes happened, but in a 50% one, at least they've got something to fight for. At least they know that they have to be very aggressive, otherwise it could not end up the way they want it to end. And by the looks of it, so Forrest starting on a set of hards as compared to everybody being on a set of medium, and definitely somebody from that top, and that has to be Colosio, who has dropped down. Meanwhile, PF will get past Petrocam, and Petrocam is he's facing the wrong way in the grass. He's going to come back, nearly going to take out Zeno at the back there while he was rejoining, but that is interesting. Incidents are happening, and already, and definitely walls being closer at Canada, being a street circuit, was the reason we saw a lot of crashes here so far. The standard has been pretty decent, and they're all going for it. Out here is there's going to be action between No Assist and No Seppo. They're going to be will to will. It's going to be an RP. It's going to be a Haas. Beautiful helicopter view we see here. Is it going to be the Haas, or is it going to be the RP? And by the looks of it, it is going to be the RP. And right at the back, there might be an option, and there might simply be an opportunity for Ronin to get past here as well, because Ronin will be at the very back. And meanwhile, with the very back is going to be a yellow flag, and Mr. Creco, he has to be the driver. Center of attention, unfortunately, once more. By the looks of it, he might have just lost the car. Oh, he hasn't just lost the car. He has definitely had an incident. Finds himself without a whole front wing, as Galosio at the moment is looking to improve. Galosio is looking to get better. Meanwhile, no Sebo will not be looking to improve. Rather, he'll just be looking to defend, and he can't quite do it. He'll not lose not one, but 2 positions out there. No assist, Ronin, and... Yep, no assist and Ronin will get past him, as now Galosio will be able to get past a couple of drivers as well. He's looking up to that recovery as Ronin goes down the inside line, and he sends it there, but he goes a little bit wide. That's going to allow no assist to come back at him. He can't quite come back. He can't quite come back there. You would have thought he's going to be doing that, but not just yet. This might just be the start of the race, as that's going to allow now Ronin to get past him. And in fact, that's going to be Galosio will get past him there. And at the very back, Welward is almost going to go side by side with no assist. And they're going to be will to will into these final few corners. Is it going to be still them side by side? But no assist has to back out and give up on that position. He knew it. Had he stood there side by side, or will to will, action could have... not worsened, but it might have been a slightly risky move to just not back out of it, and he eventually does back out of it there. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Jump and Chris within 5 cents of each other, and I don't think there's going to be any action, or there might just be some action out here. The race lead could be in all sorts of pressure from Forrest here for Chris Knifer. Meanwhile, Hernanos is in P3, sorry. Yes, indeed, I should say. He's in P3 at the moment, continuing on in that Kicksauber on his own. Over 1.9 seconds ahead of Jupiter, who's doing a brilliant job as well. But PF is now going to be moving up to them. He himself, he's going to be over 1.2 seconds behind them. And by the looks of it, he's gaining time on him. And Galosio has now got him past his own teammate Ronin as well, who I might have just not hauled up his teammate. That's what I'm going to believe. And he would have simply let his teammate get past him to try and attack back. Definitely qualified at the front, and did not have a good start at all, and he might have not had a better exit out here as well, because by the looks of it, he had a slide on the exit of turn 1, and heading towards turn 3. He's going to go defensive on the inside line, but around the outside, it'll be Ronin still side by side, nearly looks up, does Galosio on the exit there. Will Ronin be able to get a better exit? No, he won't be, but now another DRS zone, and the DRS, the rear wing will be open in the other Red Bull, and heading towards turn 1 again. He's going to go defensive on the inside line, but Ronin will get the job done around the outside, or will he though? As later on the brace goes Galosio, and he will still be able to keep up his position and be in that position where he was, and he keeps it to himself, does not allow his teammate to get past him at all. You would have thought maybe he's going to let him stay, or let him just simply keep up, not fight him at all, but he did not do that. He definitely wants to fight for that, and he knows that he doesn't want to let his teammate get past, and he nearly has a huge moment just before the final corner. He's definitely struggling middle of the front of the field. Jump will get past Chris, and he's going to take the lead of the Grand Prix. It's all happening here on lap 7 as Forrest takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. At the back, Ronin and Galosio are fighting each other, the two teammates, along with Velverd, who is now arriving at the scene as well, as Ronin does get past and does get the job done. Or does he, though, as he's now going to be able to get the job done on the inside line. A move will be done for the Ronin, and he'll be up to P6. The two Red Bull teammates, meanwhile, no assist and no Sebo, are fighting each other as well. All is happening out here. Ooh, it could be interesting. Meanwhile, at the back, it's going to be Gelman and Rexito fighting each other off. As, no, in fact, Zeno now going to be fighting up Gelman out here as well. As they're trying to fight and find all the action. And by the looks of it, I wonder if Galosio has any damage. I don't think so. And I don't think there is any physical damage. But maybe side pods are damaged, or maybe simply he's going to restabilize everything. And those medium tires are definitely going to be working better than those hard for time being, but it'll be only a couple of laps before those medium tires start to drop off, and only then Galosio will be able to show that dominance of that hard compound tire against that medium tire. Meanwhile, this time around, he won't be able to get past. Meanwhile, let's go back to the front of the field. Meanwhile, no Seppo and no assist are going to be fighting each other off as they're all going to be at it one more time, and so many drivers are fighting each other, and apologies about that. We might not be able to get every single one of them, but I certainly am trying. Honestly, I'm more certain over the lead, over the top two of this race, who are really giving it all. Chris led for a couple of laps, and on lap 7 his lead was taken, and his lead was taken away from him. And by the looks of it, Jump is keeping it to himself so far, and Jump is really doing the job to keep his lead nice and easy at the moment. And I think it won't be too long before Chris snatches back again, or I think he maybe just simply stays behind him, simply just stays right behind him right now and waits for an opportunity, waits for him to make a mistake, which would eventually allow, you know, Naifa to get past him. So it's going to be interesting now to see what exactly will be happening as no assist and no Seb are once again fighting each other off. You might want to have a look at this battle here as Colosio and Ronin are still closer to each other as well, but no assist and no Sebo, these two have been going back and forth with each other as nearly no Sebo on the exit of turn 4 loses it there. Those sparks from a plank of these cars, so they might want to take care of the plank though. Don't want to get disqualified because of that plank wear. Meanwhile, these two teammates are going to be wheel to wheel once more. And now it is going to be Galosio who will get past Ronin. And by the looks of it, 8 laps on those medium tires are going to be as many as he can do. And he'll be out of the way. Into the pit lane it goes. Ronin to really get himself a brand new set of hard compound tires. Unless he goes for another medium, but yep, he's going to go up for another set of hards. And yeah, as I said, by the looks of it, Chris is just going to stay behind for us. Chris is going to stay behind him as much as he can, and really wait for a huge mistake from him. Meanwhile, let's go back to this little battle, and this is not a little battle by the looks of it, as no assist and Seppo are going to be side by side fighting each other. These two at the back, Petrocam, Rexito, Gelman, Petrocam, and Diego he's going to go for it on the inside line into turn 4. Pushes him a little bit wide, but still within white lines. And brilliantly done by Petrocam there. They were wheel to wheel, and they could still go side by side on the exit of turn 4. But one man who might not be able to go within, I would have thought that these two, one of them is pushed a little bit wide, but no. And both of them are on a set of hard compound tires, so that means they'll be still staying out. They'll be staying out with each other at the front of the field once more, nearly. Very close between Chris and Jump, but he's not able to get past him, but he will be able to get past him once more, which was taken from him on lap 7. He'll be taking that back on lap 11, and that'll be the lead of this Austrian Grand Prix. Both of them on 10-lap-old hard and medium tires, and by the looks of it, they actually should be, you know, Jump right now, but definitely with that DRS and that rear wing from Chris, all that pressure building up would have been really hard. And in the back of the field, by the looks of it, it looks like something has happened, and it has with Rexito. Has he got a front wing missing? No, he hasn't, so that is a nice sign to see. Ooh, there's going to be an opportunity for Zeno to get past on the inside line of Jupiter, and he does get past on the inside of Jupiter, and Jupiter has got a front wing missing on that left-hand side by the looks of it. I wonder if it's a big damage or if it's just that end plate, and it is, looks like by the looks of it, it's just end plate, but I think it might just be slightly more, must just be slightly little more, and this is the battle that needs some looks, and this is the battle that needs some coverage here. We haven't been able to cover out here because of other battles, but these two are still going at it and doing an exceptional job, going side by side, going wheel to wheel, lap after lap. Once again, they get the job done. They do it once more. They're really putting all that pressure on each other, and without colliding, without making any contact or any unnecessary moves that would, you know, ruin each other's race, one or the other driver's race. So they're still doing all they can, and rather doing it all, but not really. Ooh, locks up. He's going to lock up, and nearly into the back of him goes, no assist. And that could have been pretty risky with Diego arriving now right behind them. It's all happening here, then. It is all happening here at Austria. Only within 13 laps, remember. Definitely when the first pit stops come, it'll all go a little bit down. And once more, another place where drivers making mistakes. And by the looks of it, Frankie went a little bit wide, I'd say, because there is somewhat yellow flag, as these two are going to be going side by side, as Cherton is going to lose that position to Gerardo. But that is interesting as well. Definitely within all these 13 laps, you have to say those laps at Canada. Oh, there's going to be one more chance for Sheridan to get past him. This is going to be will to wheel. The rear wing is going to help him swoop past Gerardo, and he will get past him nice and easy without really trying too hard. But that might allow Alpine to come back at him now. The Alpine driver will now have the DRS heading towards turn 3. He's going to jump for it on the inside. No, he's not far enough to make the move, and he'll really back out of it. We'll know Sebo in P6 with assist in P7 by the looks of this one. Oh, no, he hasn't lost it. I would have thought Cerdan has lost out to Gerardo, but no, he has not lost out to Gerardo, as the two for the Red Bull teammates, one of them have got a front wing end plate missing. Has the other one got it missing as well? And by the looks of it, no, he's got it intact, but his teammate Galosio, who just hasn't been able to recover as good as his qualifying was, as Petracam will now be right behind Gerardo, and all that pressure will be coming up against him, and that rear wing will be open, and that main straight nearly goes into the back of the Alpine. It does go into the back of the Alpine. They make contact not once but twice, and he in the end will get past the Alpine, but a half a front wing damaged from this ass. And that, unless he was break-taking, and absolutely wide goes Petracam. He's going to come back and rejoin in P12. But by the time he rejoins, he's going to be very close to Gerardo, as Gerardo will get past him and back up to P12. And definitely, he's going to go wide. And now Gerardo's going to go wide. And Petracam will come back at him and get it back up to that P12 with a half of front wing damage. Doing all of that has to be some crazy stuff. Despite that front wing damage, does not matter at all. He's really giving it everything and wants to fight it all. Meanwhile, PFN and Hernanos, and along with Chris, who's on brand new tires, are fighting each other off. Two McLarens, with both of them being on a different livery, which is interesting, obviously. Chris using that special chrome livery with stock used by PFM. And it's all definitely happening only within 15 laps of here. Nearly into the back of each other go the two Aston Martin drivers by the looks of it, as Forrest in the lead of the race has not pitted at all, so eventually he's still staying out at the moment. 14 laps on those hard compound tires, and by the end of this lap it's going to be 15 laps on these hard compound tires. And once again, Hernanos will be right ahead of Chris, and Hernanos will stay out on those, or no, in fact, he has pitted. So that is interesting. So by the looks of it, Hernanos has managed to stay out and ahead of Chris there. And Hernanos is definitely pitted, so that undercut has worked on Chris. And by the looks of it, he's unable to get past is Chris now past Hernanos so far. So he's really giving him all that pressure. He's really giving him all that hard time, which Chris would not like, which Chris would not want, because he knows that Hernanos staying ahead of him means that so far at least. And round the outside now, heading towards turn 4. It's a very risky place to overtake. They might make contact. They nearly make contact, but Chris just still stays within white lines and will get past Hernanos there. And he might have taken those comments seriously. He was like, wait a minute, I got you. And he gets the job done there. Because and only after 2 laps will be halfway distance on this race. We're not yet even halfway in this one, and brilliant racing has been going on all around. And all around we see these drivers give it all. They're really doing all they can and all is happening here. Meanwhile, Forrest has still not decided to pit. He's done 16 lap on these hards. His step 17 is on, so he's definitely looking to go longer. And by the looks of it, he might be in for a one-stop here. Because, oh, we go locks up a little bit, because no point staying that much far out if you are not going to do one-stop. Or maybe not, though, because even if he does 18 laps on these guys, you still have another 18 laps to do. So eventually, unless he does over 20 or 22 laps on these art tires, chance of him, you know, really doing a one-stop won't be much. And I think with... anyways, within a couple of laps, he should be coming in. Or in fact, no, he doesn't want to come in. So that means he's going to be doing 18 laps on these hard compound tires. And I think I was about to say that he's staying out, but then definitely everybody else on those hards has done over 16 and 15 and 16, 17 laps as well. So eventually, it's just the tire life of that hard compound tire then. So possibly a hard tire, then a medium tire, as Mr. Creeko's in 13 laps. He's now off that tire as well, as PF had done many laps on that medium tire as well. He's just came off that tire. He's 1 lap on those hards, so he nearly done 15 laps on those mediums then. So actually, if Forrest could slightly snatch up over 5 more laps on those hards, he could well be in here for a one-stop. Which might be unlikely, but still, it's not impossible. I mean, seen many drivers do it around here, and especially around whole of F1 25. It's all different. You know, it's the Tyre of this game has been pretty interesting in terms of, you know, it could be anybody's game. Meanwhile, right here, it could be anybody's game, as the 2 teammates are out there. As very wide and pushed is Galosio, and now on the exit of turn 4, wide goes Ronin, and on the exit of it, there's going to go turn 5 and turn 6 now. They're still going to be side by side. Galosio's going to be around the outside, Ronin's going to be on the inside line, and with that end plate missing, he's still going to try and hang it in there. He's going to strive and hang it as much as he can, but he might not be able to do that about right now. Ooh, as that... oh, slightly slowing down both of them 6 lap and on 8 lap hard compound tires. So they have eventually pitted in this race so far. The 2 teammates are going at it quite crazy, and they're doing it all. Meanwhile, PFM got past No Assist previously and will get past No Sebo this time around. Or will he? Is this still going to be side by side? No Sebo's not going to let him have it easy on him at all, but definitely 3 lap hards versus those 18 lap hards are going to be any day better than him, and he'll be able to get past him. He'll be simply able to get better exit, find better traction, and get past him nice and easy. Meanwhile, the 2 teammates, once more, the 2 Red Bull teammates are going to be at it as well, as that brilliantly looks nice so far. As Galosio and Galosio's, let's actually have a look at these details. So every single driver has stopped in this, no, in fact, every single have not. So everyone has except Forrest, Wellward, No Sebo, and No Assist. So 4 drivers have not stopped in this race. Many have put a 1-stop, and a couple of them have put a 2-stop already as well. The likes of Frankie, Dance, Nikriko, Petrogam, and Juper have all did a 2-stop. So we're going up for positions. So Galosio is in P8. So I mean, he started P4. He's 4 positions down. His teammate Ronin is also 3 positions down as well. So definitely at the moment, it's all interesting. It's all shaping up something towards the end of the race, as finally now Forrest will come into the pits after doing 20 laps on these hard compound tires. And if you can do over 20 on those hards, he can at least do 15 on those on these mediums. And if he can do 15, he should easily be able to do 16 and really actually end up doing a 1-stop. It's definitely, and by the looks of it, even if he now does 10 laps on these hard tires, he's going to be over 31 laps on these on these medium tires. And then obviously there won't be many laps to the end for him to pit and then come out again. So definitely by the looks of it, he's easily going for a one-stop strategy here. And let's say Chris, even if Chris goes 10 more laps from here, he's going to be on 18 laps. So from here, Chris either pits within a couple of laps, or he's going to go on to the end of these, to the end of the race on these hard compound tires, which could be pretty difficult, considering Forrest tried all he could, and he did over 20 laps on these tires. And by the looks of it, Certain, Gelman and Diego, all three are going to be there fighting each other off, and will be all at it as this time around. Gelman will have the opportunity to get past Penner here, and he will get past Penner. He goes down the inside line into turn 4, goes absolutely wide, and that'll allow Penner to come back at him, and they're going to be will to will once more. But will they be, though? Because he might have just got a better exit than the Ferrari driver, and he indeed has got a better exit than the Ferrari driver. Just manages to defend his position, and he indeed has been able to defend his position, and no idea what exactly has happened here, as we have a Haas driver retiring out of the session inside the pits. Meanwhile, this is going to be interesting, as no assist, by the looks of it, is going to be trying to defend from these drivers, and he can just defend on the exit of turn 1, and Galosio will be able to get past. No assist there. That is to be a brilliant move, but if it was going to be a move, because by the looks of it, it's not going to be a move so far. They're nearly going to be 3 wide here. It's going to be 2 wide once more between these two, side by side. No assist might just make contact, and his progress has been slowing down. And the two teammates once more will have the opportunity to get past each other, go side by side. Not just yet, and by the looks of it, Chris is now coming into the pits as well, and that should easily allow Forrest to get past him. Or will Forrest get past him, though, because this could be interesting out here, and he should be able to get past him nice and easy now. And Chris is on a set of hards. That is a nice move from Chris there, because he knows those medium tires are definitely going to run out of grid way sooner than those hard compound tires he's on. He's doing a 2-stop, and now in P3, Hernanos should be getting out of the way soon as well, sooner or later. 4.2 seconds between Chris and Jump, which could possibly mean a P1 position fight will be on around here now. That's 23 out of 36, so about 13 laps remain eventually so far. So it'll be interesting to see about what exactly happens in these remaining moments and minutes of this race. Going to be some battle on our hands here. There is going to be battle on our hands, as Gelman will get past. No assist. Apologies about that. I just might have had my hands off for a moment, and that brings us somewhat action, as on those older tires, no assist is on. Meanwhile, the two Mercedes teammates are going to be going side by side, as Wellward will get past his teammate, and we'll be over into the next part of the track and position so far. So the front of the field already, by the looks of it, Chris is gaining on Forrest Jump so far. So now, by the looks of it, Forrest in P1, 3.8 seconds between these two, and Chris is already putting those fastest laps in. And as I said, by his advantage of being on the hard compound tire, he can always push. He can push to the end of this race and now, and not have to worry about those tire grip. Meanwhile, Jump will have to take those tires very carefully. Meanwhile, Hernanos has now pitted, as is in P3, with PF in P4. Ronin now comes into the pits for his second stop. Wellward, and I actually said a lot of drivers were going to get those time penalties, but actually not many have gotten them. Only 6 drivers, and with 20 racing, 19 right now, but
how Austria is for these penalties. It is eventually nothing, and now many drivers are pitting in for a set. Not for a set, but rather for a brand new set indeed of the tyres, and the final stop in this race will be on. And look at that, 2.7 seconds now between the top two as Chris puts another fastest lap, and that one stop might not be working for Jump out here by the looks of it, unless he goes very aggressive, he goes very defensive on Chris, makes him work hard for this position. It'll be interesting to see. The two teammates are again within each other. Both of them have pitted for their second stop, and now there's going to be an opportunity for Colosio to get past his teammate. Can he get past his teammate now around here? They're going to be side by side. He'll be around the outside. Ronan will be on the inside line, and he will get past him there. Does Colosio up to P9. He will get it done brilliantly so far from him there, as we are in out and about at this point. So Colosio P9 for him, as there's going to be drivers pitting, and gentlemen in that Mercedes will be pitting up out here. A certain Penna is going to be right behind Ronan at the moment, and he's hand up right behind those two teammates, the Red Bull teammates at the front in P8 and 9. So this is good. This could be interesting. All here in these ending moments, as at the end of this lap, it will only be 9 laps remaining. Meanwhile, the two of these guys, once more, they'll be side by side, wheel to wheel, and are into turn 4. He will be able to get past him, or will he though? He has locked up, and that's going to allow Colosio to come back at him easily. Once more, running up past his teammate on those hard compound tyres. Oh, he's got that brilliant helmet, the golden and carbon fiber. I believe that's the F1 movie helmet. It's a brilliant one, as definitely that's now going to be all right here at the front of the field, and all 19 drivers are present. I think, sure, Canada was a street circuit, but still, as much as it looked bad at the previous race, it looks pretty decent, you have to say, pretty good, considering how it was eventually at the previous round. So by that look, it's definitely brilliant around here. So interesting now, as that is we're just waiting for an opportunity. We always keep seeing these two teammates fight each other off, but we want Certain to get in there. By the looks of it, he's really not trying to mess up with the two teammates, and at the moment he's just looking to get that P10 eventually. You know, he's just trying to get that top 10 finish, get a point for himself, and do a good job for his team overall. Ooh, a bit of lock up from Forrest Jump, and already the pressure is on by the looks of it in these ending moments. 1.1 second between the two. Those medium tires have already done 7 laps. At the end of this lap it'll be 8, and Chris right behind on those hard compound tire will be putting all that pressure. Not only that, he's going faster, and look at that, already the Alpine driver is using that battery to help himself stay ahead, to save himself, gain a little bit of time, and that is not anymore, even within that 1 second. Hernanos is a little bit behind these guys, and is going to be doing all that. Meanwhile, one man has done all what we wanted him to do. A certain Penn is going to get past the two Red Bull teammates, and now the Colosio is going to come back at him. He'll have the opportunity, but Penna goes down the inside, on the inside to defend, heading towards turn 4. He has a massive later goes on the brakes, does Colosio there, but he's going to go absolutely wide and into the gravel by himself, and Pirna's going to come back at him and get the overtake done once more. He went absolutely later on the brakes, and there was no way he was going to be making that corner and still coming out ahead of Penna there in that Ferrari, because he did absolute dive, but it wasn't dive, obviously it was around the outside, but he gave it all, and now that 5 tenths already now only remain. This was only going to work out for Forrest if this was the final lap or the second last lap here, because now only a few corners, in a matter of few corners, you will be able to get past him, and he should be able to get past him. Meanwhile, at the back out here, it is going to be Penna, and down the inside line now, Colosio will have the chance. Penna looks up, it goes a little bit wide. That's going to be an opportunity for Colosio. Or will it be, though? Because he might be able to get past, not get past him here, but he should be able to get past him about now. He been really later on the brakes earlier, and it might not be the case this time around. Around here, he does enough for him to get past. Meanwhile, Diego, no assist. Diego and Rexito are going to be all at it. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, the expected has happened as Chris has gone past Jump on lap 30 out of 36 at the end of it. And he will get the job done brilliantly. Job done to help and get that race lead back. And unless Chris now makes a huge mistake or anything that allows Forrest to take the position, I don't think anything will be stopping him by the looks of it. So let's go back to our battle, and we will all be at our battle here as Penna and Galossi are going to be fighting at it. Ronin might have an opportunity here. Meanwhile, Gelman's right behind these guys as well. They're all going to be fighting each other off, heading towards turn 4. There's going to be another opportunity. Penna will be on the outside line. Ronin will be on the inside line. Just slightly locks up, but will keep the position to himself, as now Gelman will be out there as well. He has arrived at the scene. Meanwhile, No Seppo is down over in P6, and interestingly, no assist has lost out time because these two were fighting each other off. But No Seppo's gain and no assist by the looks of it is down in P12. And this is all going to be brilliantly shaping up out here. But meanwhile, this is an interesting battle as well for P12. At the back of the midfield, as it might not be something too big, but still something to look at between these drivers, as No Assist is just trying to stay ahead of these guys, as 1.4 seconds now Chris has gained up over Forest Jump with Renanos in P3. And by the looks of it, it is going to be now Gelman fighting these guys. And Gelman is now going to be fighting Galosio over to make it work for him. But it might not be, or will it though, because Ronin Godden has gotten past Pertus Penna there, and that'll going to be a front wing end plate missing for the Ferrari, as Galossi is going to be losing that position to Gelman as well now. So it is all happening around here at this point to make it work, to make it count on what exactly will be happening and what exactly will go down in the books of racing, in the books of excellent racing, as lap 32 will turn lap 33, or not just yet in fact, as a race leader is now will be heading over into it. 4 laps, including this one at the end of it, and only 3 after this one. So it is all to play for. Meanwhile, drivers up out ahead, and one of the Red Bulls have gotten past the Ferrari, and the Mercedes now might get past the Ferrari as well. The rear wing will be opening on both the cars. Is it going to be the Mercedes who's a stronger one in the straight line, or is it going to be the Ferrari who's going to be stronger in that straight line into turn 4 on the inside line? We'll brake later and get past him nice and easy. Won't have to worry about much of it at all. And by the looks of it, Duper has got him past. No assist there, as Duper is over 5.3 seconds down. So that means Duper is in a race of his own. These two are fighting. Meanwhile, Galosio is in P10, and he might have to stay in there. Meanwhile, Gelman and Ronin will be fighting each other. Gelman and Ronin will be into it at this point in time now. And there's a yellow flag, and by the looks of it, it might be Mr. Kariko. Not sure, it could be his teammate as well, but indeed it is him having a spin currently in P19. Now, not much remains. Our race leader has gained over 4.2 seconds. So eventually you would have thought the one stop is going to work. It definitely is going to work. It's going to be easily, hopefully, for him. We'll be able to finish over ahead of Hernanos, but him trying to finish ahead of Chris might have not been an easy job at all. And Mr. Creco has now got a 3-second time penalty. Actually, let's have a look at the penalties that many drivers have got. 16 seconds to Wellward, 16 to Colosio as well, with 3 seconds. Then to Dance, Gerardo, and Rexito, with 6 and 9 seconds to Frankie and Mr. Creco. So by the looks of it then, now lap 35 out of 36, our race leader is on. Oh, Hernanos is now closer. Hernanos is now ever closer to jump along. Okay, there's a Williams, but that's a lapped car. But these two could be in here for a fight, and it might be getting even more difficult for jump here. So as I was saying earlier, the one stop probably can work, but won't be fast enough around 36 laps here at Austrian. By the looks of it, we can already see we saw him lose the lead earlier on, and we might be on the way to see him lose second place here as well. He's good for him, though, that he's only got one whole lap to fight for it, so he can be all aggressive he wants, and he will be being that for sure. He's going to be doing all of that to make sure he gets the better of Hernanos here and finishes up in P2. These three are going to be at it. They're going to be side by side. Who's going to be later on the break, setting to turn 3, and he's going to back out of it eventually to get that DRS into turn 4. He knows that. He wants that, and he will be trying to come back at him, but can he? By the looks of it, he might not be able to do that. Oh, it could be interesting, and by the looks of it, he indeed might not be able to do that. And Forrest trying to make a one-stop strategy work from that race lead to that P2, and now has turned into P3. There's a yellow flag at some part of the track. Might be one of the drivers at the back. It is going to be Chris, the man. He's going to do it here one more time, and it's going to be Chris Sniper, who started in pole position, is going to finish in P1 by over 7 seconds to the Tyre in P2. Hernanos at the very end gained up to Forrest jump and finishes in P2. Jump in the end, tried all he could. P3 was all he can get, and then PF in P4. He started down at the very back as far as I could remember, 7 positions down, so he definitely started outside the top 10 by the looks of it, and recovering it back up to P7 has to be, sorry, P4 has to be a well done job to him as well. The previous race's victory was ruined, but eventually gets a job done today, and Wellward has got a time penalty. Will that affect his racing action? By the looks of it, it will. 16 seconds to time penalties to him. Meanwhile, at the very back, it's going to be between running and no assist. They're going to be heading to a stand 4. No, in fact, the final 2 corners, and he's going to nearly just chop past him, and they're going to make contact, but he will get past him. The overtake will be done. Jalman now might be able to get past. No assist, no Seppo there. He won't be able to get past him, but an absolute brilliant, absolute fantastic end to this Austrian Grand Prix, and that is absolutely fantastic end to this one, ladies and gentlemen. And it was Chris once again who takes the crown and wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Driver of the day to Jalman, fastest lap race winner cleanest driver for his jump. And let's have a look at all this now. Chris wins along with the fastest lap in P1. Started P1, finishes P1. Hernanos started P5, finishes P2. Brilliant job done to him as well. And for his jump in P3, PFM started P11, finishes in P4. Running in P5, started P6. No, Sebo started P9 and finishes in P6. Then Jalman started P19 all the way back, finishes in P7. Wellward in P10. Penna in P9 just gets that 2 points, and Jupiter in P10 as well, just that final top 10 spot, with Galosia finishing just outside of, so starting in P4. No assist in P12 with Diego, Zeno, Rixido, Gerardo, Frankie, Dance, Mr. Greco in P19. Petrocam, the one and only driver who retired out of the session and retired out of it. So hope you all watching really enjoyed all of this action. It was myself, Zabi, bringing you all the action from all of us here at F1 CRR. It's a goodbye. Hope you all watching enjoyed it. See you next week. I might or might not be here, but hope it was fun commentating for the last 2 weeks. And see you soon. Bye bye.